Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the seventh annual Decant Gala and Fine Wine Auction. I am Ben Mulrooney, and it is my pleasure yet again to be your master of ceremonies tonight. I wish we were together in a ballroom at the Delta Hotel. However, we are here in the comfort of our own homes. And when I say comfort, I mean I'm wearing slippers. And for the first time, we're able to include guests from across the country thanks to our virtual format. In addition to so many guests across the GTA, I've been told that we've got people joining us from Tottenham, Ontario, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Vancouver, Whistler, and even upstate New York. So let's enjoy being physically apart, but connected through our commitment to raising awareness and vital funds for Cystic Fibrosis Canada. This event kicks off Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month, where we celebrate achievements in CF research, advocacy, healthcare, and the National Registry. Over the past 6 years, through the generosity of sponsors, guests, and donors like you, the Decant Gala has raised over $2 million, which contributed to funding the critical work of CF Canada in those areas. So thank you very much, each and every one of you, for your support. I know that we can make tonight another incredibly successful evening of fundraising. Tonight, we're going to hear from inspiring members of the CF community. We're going to collect donations through our Key to a Cure campaign. Many of you will be keeping an eye on your bids in the online auction and will be treated to a very special performance by Jim Cuddy with Colin Cripps and Ann Lindsay. An important part of our fundraising tonight is the online wine auction, which includes 64 lots, and there really is something for everyone. If you haven't already registered, please visit irongateauctions.com. And once you're registered, you can browse the lots, place your bids. And note the first closing for wine lots 1 through 30 is at 9:30 p.m. But the second closing for lots 31 through 64, that closes at 10 p.m. You'll have plenty of time to get in your final bids after we wrap up tonight's program. As an added bonus, all registered bidders who place a bid on a Decant wine lot, and by the way, it doesn't have to be the winning bid, you're going to be entered into a draw to win 3 bottles of 2012 Châteauneuf du Pape Vieux Télégraphe Lacroix, valued at $325. Now, those of you who've joined us at past Decant Galas may recall the iconic CN Tower. It gets lit up in blue and teal in awareness and celebration of Cystic Fibrosis Canada. Well, tonight is no different. It's going to be lit up again. So if you're able to see the CN Tower from wherever you are, please be sure to snap lots of pictures and post and tag hashtag Decant Gala 2021 and hashtag Light Up for CF on social media. And now I am pleased to introduce 2 incredibly dedicated volunteers who established this gala 7 years ago and who work diligently to make Decant bigger and better each and every year. Please join me in welcoming our Decant Gala co-chairs, Ron Anderson and Nancy Koch.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Ben, for being our fabulous Decant MC again this year. We really appreciate you being so generous with your time and committing yourself to supporting the CF cause over the years. And clearly, we appreciate your professionalism. I know I will not be as smooth as you are in this delivery, and I'm sure I'll be looking at my notes more than my camera on my iPad. So everyone, please bear with me. On behalf of our Gala committee, we extend our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has joined us for this virtual format tonight. As always, our goal is to enjoy a wonderful evening while raising awareness and critical funds in support of Cystic Fibrosis Canada. As Ben mentioned, May is Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month. Many of you know that cystic fibrosis is a life-threatening genetic disease that primarily affects the respiratory and digestive systems. Do you know, though, that half of the 4,300 Canadians living with CF, 60% of those are adults? Do you know that many of these adults will likely need a doubled lung transplant as a treatment for severely decreased lung function? And nearly 1/4 of CF adults will develop CF-related diabetes. Many adults and children with CF look healthy and normal on the outside, but they are dealing with multiple hidden effects from CF on the inside. Life for those living with CF is not exactly normal. It involves taking several enzymes with each meal and snack, doing inhaled medications and chest physio twice a day to clear their lungs, going for multidisciplinary clinic assessments at least 4 times a year, perhaps needing feeding tube to maintain their weight, and sometimes requiring IV antibiotics and hospital stays to treat severe infections. In addition to working every day to maintain their health, many Canadians with CF and their families have also been raising their voices and advocating for equitable access to innovative, life-changing medications, Orkambi, Kalydeco, and Trikafta, the most recent medication that is still not available in Canada. Together, we have an opportunity to make a difference for the CF community tonight. We can increase awareness, and we can raise funds that will contribute to supporting essential research, improvements in clinical care, and critical advocacy efforts, which will enable Canadians with cystic fibrosis to live longer, healthier lives.
Good evening, everyone. You know, this evening is made possible because of each of you and draws inspiration from the continued and invaluable support of our generous sponsors and partners. We would like to extend our sincerest gratitude to our presenting sponsors this evening, Burgundy Asset Management and the Errol Family Foundation. Our platinum sponsor this evening, Home Trust. Our gold sponsors, CIBC and the Honorable Margaret McCain. Our silver sponsors, Altus Group and Bank of Montreal. And our bronze sponsor, Connor Clark and Lunn. Thanks to each of you for your sponsorship of Decant and for your ongoing support of this wonderful cystic fibrosis community. We are honored to have you as our partners in our quest to find a cure or control for cystic fibrosis. We offer many thanks to Warren Porter and his team at Iron Gate Private Wine Management, and to the private donors who have contributed some incredible vintage wines from their own personal collections. We are deeply appreciative of your generous donations to our online auction this evening. We also extend our thanks to our event partner, Ascari Hospitality Group. Their team has been an absolute pleasure to work with. For those of you who chose a meal add-on this evening, we are sure that you enjoyed the delicious food and amazing wine, along with a very well done video with preparation instructions and wine tasting notes. Many thanks also to the incredible production team at Pure AV and Soundscape, without whom we could not possibly have put together and produced this complex online Decant event tonight.
Thanks, Ron, for those kind thank yous. Finally, we would like to thank our Decant Gala committee. This small but mighty group of exceptionally committed and talented individuals has worked tirelessly for many months to plan this virtual event. Thank you, fellow committee members, Ron, Gwyn, Christy, Warren, Sabine, and Patricia. All of the time and effort that you have dedicated to this special evening is greatly appreciated.
I think the three of us are going to do a toast now. Can we bring them back?
So before we fully pass this back to Ben, to our committee, to all of our sponsors, and to our guests, grab a glass of whatever you might have nearby, and let's toast to a great evening. Cheers,
Cheers,
everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. Absolutely. And that toast is for the wonderful work by the Decant committee to plan this virtual event, never having done so before, by the way. That said, it really is our collective hope that we're not going to have to host this event virtually in 2022. And now I'm pleased to introduce Kelly Grover, the president and CEO of Cystic Fibrosis Canada. Kelly.
On behalf of Cystic Fibrosis Canada, I'm honored to welcome you to the 2021 Decant Gala, an evening at home. We're so thankful that you can all join us here tonight. This has been and continues to be a very challenging year. I do think, however, that given the isolation we've all experienced, being able to come together to celebrate has become just a little bit more special. This weekend brings with it Mother's Day. And when I think of Mother's Day, I am so thankful for the hope that we can now offer the moms in our cystic fibrosis community. We know that we're so close to getting new transformational drugs for cystic fibrosis available here in Canada. Even better than insulin was for diabetes, these drugs will change the lives of people diagnosed with CF, extending lifespans by up to 10 years. We'll be able to offer hope to many new moms whose child's diagnosed with CF and give hope to someone living with CF who dreams of becoming a mom. While there's still work to be done to ensure these drugs are available and our community continues to receive needed care and investment in research, I want you to know that we are on the cusp of incredible change. And we've only been able to see this kind of change because of the support from people like you here tonight. Your support is helping to change the experience of those in our community and the course of a fatal disease. That is what you're doing, providing hope and opportunity for those new moms who've just learned of their child's CF diagnosis. For the mother with CF who spends more time in the hospital than with her own kids. And for the woman with CF who longs to become a mom. Your contributions here tonight will change their experience. You are indeed making an impact. And on behalf of the thousands of people living with CF in Canada, thank you so very much. I'd like to also thank the organizing committee, Ron, Nancy, Christy, Warren, and Gwen, Sabine, and Patricia. Thank you for working so hard to ensure that tonight is a success. And thank you to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Kelly. That was an inspiring and hopeful message. And also it highlighted the mothers in the CF community in honor of Mother's Day tomorrow. We all admire and appreciate the important work that you and your colleagues at Cystic Fibrosis Canada do to support the 4,300 Canadians living with cystic fibrosis, as well as their families. All right, it's time now for me to introduce our guest speaker. It's my pleasure to introduce Sasha Hoyen. Sasha is a dedicated and tenacious advocate for the CF community. She has held meetings at Queen's Park with her MPP and with the Ministry of Health. She's done countless media interviews and to talk about the fight for access for life-changing CF medications. Sasha is also an entrepreneur, running Sasha's Sweets and making incredible baked goods, including Fudge for a Cure, which is just the best name for anything to do with charity I've ever heard, and which is available through May, with a portion of sales being donated to CF Canada. And most importantly, Sasha is the mother of 3 children, 2 of whom have cystic fibrosis. Sasha?
Thank you for the kind introduction. I am truly honored to speak here tonight. So my husband Jamie and I have 3 children, Andre 11, Joshua 8, and Lucy 4. My sons Andre and Joshua both have cystic fibrosis. Jamie and I actually didn't know that we belonged to this special community right away. The boys were born with CF, but went misdiagnosed and untreated for the first few years of their lives. A very long story short, my boys were sick during that period of time. After years of failing to thrive, constant chest infections, hospital stays, a false negative CF sweat test, and doctors reassuring me my sons just had asthma, I finally found my voice and demanded to be sent to Sick Kids Hospital. The doctors there were too smart to be fooled. Andre was admitted immediately, stayed for 4 weeks, and was diagnosed with CF. He was malnourished. He was growing a very harmful bacteria in his lungs that had gone untreated for far too long. One doctor told me the mucus built up in his airways had turned as hard as cement. They tested Joshua, who was suffering with the same symptoms, and he was diagnosed as well. That whole experience changed me. It stole my blissful ignorance, and it made me aware that important people can be wrong. I believe that journey is what has fueled my husband and I to get so involved with advocating. Had I spoken up for my sons early in their lives, maybe they wouldn't have suffered so much as young children. Once diagnosed, Andre and Joshua worked very hard at their new routine of inhaled medications and chest physiotherapy, and their health drastically improved. I was so grateful to be able to access these treatments. But unfortunately, damage had been done to Andre's lungs, and he was always sicker than Joshua. Andre coughed all day, and then he coughed in his sleep. I remember stepping outside in the middle of the night just to get away from the sound. Listening to your child struggling when you have done everything humanly possible to try and make them better is pure torture. All of that changed when Andre was randomly selected to be part of a trial for a new groundbreaking drug called Symdeko. Because of this medication, for the first time in his life, Andre is really at par with kids his own age. He doesn't cough all the time, he gains weight easily, and he can shake a cold in a few days like most kids instead of having it take him down for weeks at a time. I'm not sure I can describe the weight that has been lifted off our shoulders because of this drug. In my 1 decade of being a parent, sometimes I feel as if I have lived through several. I have felt the desperation of trying to get a diagnosis, as many parents did back in the day. And with Andre getting the opportunity to start on such a transformative medication, I feel like I have traveled from the Stone Ages to future therapies overnight. Unfortunately, many CF patients, including Joshua, are getting left behind. Over the years, we have watched over 30 countries gain access to these life-changing medications while Canadians sit and wait. In fact, our own Ministry of Health actually put a prescribing criteria on the drug my son Joshua is eligible for, requiring him to get severely sick before they would consider funding it. I would compare this to offering COVID patients their vaccine only once they have been vented. What good would that do? And who makes a child have to get so ill before they give them a medication that could have prevented that illness in the first place? It is inhumane and it is very un-Canadian. I have had to find my voice once again and tell these politicians that this is wrong. My husband and I reached out to all our friends asking for help. Thousands of letters were sent to our Minister of Health. We told our story to any newspaper that would listen to us. After almost a year of advocating, we secured meetings with Minister Christine Elliott, deputy ministers, and several MPPs. I even had the opportunity to shake Premier Ford's hand at Queen's Park and use that moment to plea for help. I want to say I am determined to never let my sons fall behind on available treatments ever again, but it has been over 3 years of us begging for Joshua to have the same opportunity as his older brother, and nothing has happened. We feel so defeated. To put it into perspective, imagine being able to give one of your children the COVID vaccine while the other suffers with getting COVID over and over again. I am very grateful that groundbreaking medications like this have been created. Developing them was more than half the battle, and it is evenings like this that have made that happen, drastically changing the course of cystic fibrosis. So I would like to finish with the saying, believe in God, fund science. Some kind of fate or another has brought each one of us to this event tonight for our own reasons. What everyone decides to do next is where there is an opportunity to change the course of cystic fibrosis in Canada. What we can do together is contribute. Make a donation to science by purchasing a bottle of wine. I actually recently turned my hobby into a small business, and truthfully, I never would have had the chance to do that if it wasn't for the drug trial Symdeko. Innovations that come from this type of funding don't just change patients' lives, they change entire families' lives. And my biggest goal for my business is to one day be able to buy one of these rare wines. Because what may just be a bottle of wine to some is so much more than that to families like mine. Lastly, and something that doesn't cost a cent, is speaking up. Use your voice to bring awareness to cystic fibrosis and the crisis these patients are in at the moment. Every letter, every mention is so important for our community right now. And I can't thank you all enough for your annual support of this gala and the important work of Cystic Fibrosis Canada. I can honestly say my sons are in much better health because of evenings like this. All of your efforts have truly paved a better path for children like mine. And I appreciate you allowing me to join you in your home tonight. And I do hope to see all of you in person in the future.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Sasha. You've had quite a journey, and we are inspired by your courage and your perseverance. Your sons, Andre and Joshua, and the entire CF community are very fortunate to have you as a strong advocate to support them. You lead with love, you lead with your heart, and you lead by example. Thank you so much. All right, time now for us to open our hearts and your wallets to raise funds for the essential work of Cystic Fibrosis Canada. Those of you who've attended this event, this Decant event in the past, know the excitement that fills the ballroom as we begin this critically important part of our evening fundraising. We call this the Key to a Cure campaign. So each of you has a chance to give a key to directly fund Cystic Fibrosis Canada's strategic priorities. Your donations at all levels, and I do mean all levels, are vital during this time and will enable CF Canada to go further with our CF community. So this is how it works. When you hear or see the donation amount that you would like to contribute, you can either donate directly through the website at decant.ca, or you can text your full name and donation amount to 416-944 9266. If you donate through texting, you'll be contacted by a CF Canada staff member next week to make your secure payment. All right, those are the rules. So now let's get on with the giving. Let's raise some funds. Who's going to start with a gift of $5,000? $5,000. Sasha just shared her family's heartwarming story, as well as the struggles they faced with gaining equal access to these innovative medications. So let's help CF Canada advocate for changes in our healthcare system so that more Canadians with CF will have access to life-changing medications. Anybody? All right, let's see. I'm going to check my text messages here. Okay, we just got an anonymous donation of a $5,000 key. Thank you very much. If I was given $5,000, I would not be anonymous about it. But anyway, thank you for your generosity. Okay, come on. Let's fund CF Canada's continued investment in expanding the clinical trials network to improve access and speed of innovation for new therapies. Let's do that together. Hold on. One, no, two more $5,000 donations. Thank you so much again to anonymous donors. Come on, guys. You know what? I'll share your names. I'll trumpet them from the rooftops. No? Okay. All right. Remember, to donate a $5,000 key, text your name and donation amount to the number on the screen, 416-944-9266. While more donors are hopefully completing that texting process, please watch this short message from another CF family.
Hello, my name is Cassidy Evans. I'm 10 years old. I have cystic fibrosis. On a bad day with CF, I usually feel like I don't want to do much because my stomach's hurting, I can't breathe sometimes very well, and yeah, I just want to lay in my bed and just cry.
Well, I know that message from Cassidy pulls at the heartstrings, but I wanted to pull at the purse string. So let's get some donations on her behalf. Who wants to contribute a $2,500 key? Just think of Cassidy. Think of the importance of clinical care for her and for her family. Most CF patients visit their CF clinic a minimum of 4 times a year. Your support is going to help fund high quality clinical care for CF patients like Cassidy, so that they can enjoy more days of being a kid. Let's remember that childhood in a lot of ways is stripped from people with cystic fibrosis because of the hard work they have to do each and every day. All right, let me see. All right, we got our first $2,500 key donation. Thank you very much. And another $2,500 donation. Thank you for your support. Don't wait. Donate a $2,500 key right now. Text the amount and your name to 416-944-9266. Look, the generosity of donors is needed so that this Cystic Fibrosis Canada organization can continue to seek opportunities to improve the quality of life for individuals with CF and lessen the burden of care for them and also their families. Please keep those donations coming while we watch this touching message from another CF mother.
Megan, probably the very hardest part of watching her with CF was watching her emotional struggle with CF. And that was started young. I mean, I think at 5 or 6, she totally got the fact that her life expectancy would be reduced. Like, I think she got that, she felt that, she fought that. Like, that was a huge struggle for her whole life. This resentment about having CF and feeling like life was unfair.
Advances in research supported by CF Canada have indeed helped to extend the lives of people living with cystic fibrosis. The median life expectancy is now 51 years of age, but too many families are losing a child long before that, like Karen and her family. Research programs are making a difference in the lives with people with cystic fibrosis. And it is my hope and everyone's hope involved with CF Canada that some of you will consider making a gift to support research at the $1,000 level. Who would like to contribute a $1,000 key? Well, if you need more information, I'm here to provide it. CF Canada remains sharply focused on translational and clinical research that will have the greatest possible impact for people living with CF in Canada. Think about Karen. Think about Karen's daughters, Megan and Catherine. Your contributions will help fund research towards personalized, targeted treatments for individuals with cystic fibrosis, helping them live longer and better lives. All right. All right, in the interest of time, we can't recognize every donor as the texts aren't slowing down, which is a good thing. We've got our first $1,000 key donated by Carol Loam. Thank you, Carol Loam. Thank you very much for your generosity and your support. All right, another $1,000 donation just came in. This is very exciting. Another anonymous donor, by the way, just committed $1,000. It's so easy, guys. As you can see, just text 416-944-9266 with your name and the amount you would like to donate. Well, many thanks, by the way, to everybody who has donated so far. This has been wonderful. We're now going to open up the campaign to any amount. Every contribution makes an impact, and that's why we're all here tonight. So whether the number is $750, $500, $200, even $25. And by the way, we can go up as well. We don't have to keep going down. If you want to donate $10,000, please, every donation counts. And look, if you can only donate a small amount, just remember, you donate a small amount, another person donates a small amount, another person donates only a small amount. All of a sudden, that only becomes OMG. So let's remember, every single amount is worth it. So if you've got it and you want to give it, please text us at 416-994-9266 with your name, as well as the amount that you would like to donate. And I wish, by the way, that we could recognize each and every donor, but just know that we are extremely grateful for everyone's generosity and support. Like I said, you're making a huge difference in the lives of those with cystic fibrosis. All right, let's check on the donations. Jack Siegel and Shauna Rempel have donated $500. Thank you so much. And a couple more $500 donations. Thank you. Okay, we got a $2,500 donor. Yes, every contribution matters. Okay, we got a $250 key. Thank you. This is incredible. Look, this has been such an incredible Key to a Cure campaign. I am so impressed with all the donations coming in. Thank you so much. And remember, your donations make an impact. And just because I'm stopping this right now doesn't mean the Key to a Cure campaign stops right now. You can still donate throughout the remainder of the evening if you haven't already. Just remember, text your name as well as the amount you'd like to donate to 416-994-9266 or visit decant.ca and donate to a cure. Thanks again so much for your generosity. Your support for this campaign has been a remarkable part of this evening. Give yourselves a round of applause. This, by the way, is the sound of one host clapping. Thank you very much. All right, well, I am very excited now to introduce a special musical performance tonight. He is a Canadian musical icon. We are so appreciative for his contribution to this wonderful evening. I have known him for a number of years. I conceded a long, long time ago that no matter what I do in my life, I will never be as cool as this man on his least cool day. And I'm so glad that he's here today. As one half of Blue Rodeo's songwriting partnership, Jim Cuddy has one of the most recognizable voices in Canadian music and was invested as an officer of the Order of Canada, along with songwriting partner Greg Keeler. Tonight, he is joined by Colin Cripps and Anne Lindsay. Take it away.
Thank you for the kind introduction. It's our pleasure to join you at home tonight in support of Cystic Fibrosis Canada. A good friend, Warren Porter from Iron Gate Wines, kindly asked us to perform a song or two, so let's get to it.
Hey, it's me, what a big surprise, calling you up from a restaurant round the bend. Just got in from way up north, making tired now, and I could use a friend. Might be a fool, think that you do wanna see me again. I know it's been a while since I talked to you. Nothing wrong, just nothing ever goes as planned. So many times I thought I'd call, didn't have your number in my hand. But I know it's true, you never do the same thing to me. I never meant to make you cry, and though I know I shouldn't call, it just reminds us of the cost of everything we've lost. That time in that soul. And maybe soon there'll come a day when no more tears will fall. We each forgive a little bit, and we both look back on it. It's just that time in that song. Used to have so many plans, something always seemed to turn out wrong. Never could catch up to you, moving on and doing all you've done. But I don't know why, the harder I try, the harder it comes. Make you cry, and though I know I shouldn't call, it just reminds us of the cost of everything we've lost. That time in that soul. And maybe soon there'll come a day when no more tears will fall. We each forgive a little bit, and we both look back on it. It's just that time in that song. We each forgive a little bit, and we both look back on it. It's just that time in that song. Thank you very much. How did you know it was me that was crying behind the locked door? I don't cry very much, in fact not at all, but I know what I was crying for. Lately the walls of my world have been crumbling, letting in all of my blues. Oh, I know I'll get through it, just gotta hear some good news. Well, I guess that we're getting all we deserve. We've been careless for too many days. When I see all my brothers and sisters together, I know that that's worthy of praise. History has its own way of revealing the moment that we lit the fuse. Oh, I guess we'll get through it, just gotta hear some good news. Oh, why am I blinded again? So much I don't understand. Wake up, night, watching the lives that I'm holding slip through my hands. No, why am I blinded again? So much I don't understand. I wake up dreaming at night, watching the lives that I'm holding slip through my hands. Well, the anger is rising, there's effigies burned, there's damage that surely will last. At this moment in time, well, I hope we have learned not to slip back to ways of the past. There's a light that keeps shining so deep in our hearts, and it's there any time that we choose. Oh, I know we'll get through it, we just gotta hear. Oh, I know we'll get through it, we just gotta hear. Oh, I know we'll get through it, we just gotta hear some good news.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Keep bidding on the wine lots and the online auction, and please donate what you can to Cystic Fibrosis Canada so that you can continue to support the 4,300 Canadians who live with CF.
Performance by one of this country's greatest singer-songwriters of all time, and the fact that he added his friends Colin and Anne to the mix. Thank you all for your musical talents on this special evening. This evening has blown by, but it's been incredible. Thanks again to all of you who stand with us to fight for a cure or control of cystic fibrosis and Canadians living with cystic fibrosis. You are truly making a difference for those with CF and their families. All right, before we wrap up, I want to remind you that it is the Decant Gala and Fine Wine Auction, and the Fine Wine Auction part of the evening continues with lots 1 through 30 closing at 9:30 and lots 31 through 64 closing at 10 p.m. So if you haven't already done so, you can still head to irongateauctions.com where you can browse until you find something you want and then bid until you win. Every dollar raised in the wine auction contributes to funding the important work of Cystic Fibrosis Canada. So this is a great idea. If you get outbid and you don't win the lot that you want, please consider turning your last bid into a donation. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I hope some of you will do just that. Remember, every contribution makes an impact to the entire cystic fibrosis community. By the way, I just received a note from the team. Where is it? At CF Canada. Yeah, and I'm pleased to say that so far tonight, we have raised an incredible $165,000. $165,000. Fantastic. Thank you so much. We achieved this number together through our generous sponsors, ticket purchasers, and Key to a Cure donors. We look forward to announcing an even higher final fundraising total with you next week after the wine auction has closed and any additional donations have been collected. Thanks again for your virtual attendance at this memorable event. We hope that you enjoyed this evening from the comfort of your homes. You enjoyed a great meal, a great glass of wine, and really an inspirational evening celebrating the families of people with cystic fibrosis, the struggles, and those who are fighting to make it a memory. You each have made such a significant difference by raising awareness and critical funds for Cystic Fibrosis Canada, allowing them to go further for Canadians living with CF. The Decant Gala Committee and I want to wish all mothers, especially in the CF community, a very happy Mother's Day tomorrow. We hope that you're treated to a special day and that you're shown lots of love and appreciation for everything that you do for your families. We'll remain very hopeful that we'll be together again next year in person in May 2022. And I have so much fun at this event, whether it's at home or in person. So if they will have me, I would love to be there as your Master of Ceremonies next year for the next Decant Gala and Fine Wine Auction, an evening in Australia. Take care, be well, be safe. Good night, and we'll see you soon.